You might start to recognize a pattern here, as in, is this a travel guide for cheapos or something? And well, yes. I weirdly take pride into knowing and divulging all 3 hours of touristic attractions. Hello everyone, this is Wandering Tati. In this video I would like to show you some ideas of what to do in Madrid if you're going to be there for about a week, as I was at the moment. The story behind this video is that of new beginnings. This visit took place during the first week of my arrival to Spain. I was so young and innocent back then. It was like a couple of months ago, but anyway. So many things have happened since then that it feels like a million years ago. At the moment I had this excitement and awe towards everything I saw. I was discovering a new city, visiting some friends I haven't seen in over a year, and everything seemed wonderful and brand new. Things were really going smoothly at the moment. A couple of steps that we had to make towards our residency in Spain were going out fine, so things were looking up at the moment. The debacle started a mere week later, but that's a story for another day. I'm kidding, kind of. But this video is going to be a completely positive one, and I would like to share with you some activities I did during the first week in Spain, when I visited the city of Madrid. First is one of my favorite, the Royal Palace of Madrid. It is the largest palace in the Western Europe and one of the largest ones in the world. It has 135,000 square meters, 3,418 rooms, and has been the scenery for centuries of Spain's history. It is one of the few official state chiefs' residencies that are opened to the public. Almost 2 billion visitors come every year. The place is breathtaking. I wish I could show you more of the interior, but no photographs or videos are allowed. And they ain't kidding about that. One guy took a photograph in one of the forbidden places and the guard told him to immediately delete the photograph. And let's just say that she wasn't subtle about that. I didn't want to get deported less than a week from arrival, so sorry, no footage from the inside. Now you will be forced to visit. Monday to Thursday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. in winter, there's free admission for citizens of the European Union, residents and holders of work permit in the European Union, and Latin American citizens. Of course, you have to validate your nationality with an ID card, a passport, or your work permit or residence permit. As for museums, I visited two, El Prado and Reina Sofía. First, Museo Nacional del Prado. It is considered one of the most important art museums in the world, and it is one of the most visited. It is filled with paintings of the Spanish artists and various pictorial schools from other parts of Europe between the 15th and 18th centuries, as well as some Spanish artists from the 19th century. There is free access from Monday to Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and on Sundays and holidays from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I should mention that it's one of those places where the visit ends up being quite overwhelming, kind of like the British Museum. So I would say 2 hours is more than enough because at least I ended up exhausted after the visit. To be honest, I'm not so much into this type of art, but the museum is definitely something to experience if you're going to be on Madrid, and there are some impressive paintings in its collection. But I personally prefer the Reina Sofia Museum. Which has a collection of modern art. And there are some interesting paintings by Dalí, and you can even see Picasso's El Guernica there. The painting was way larger than I expected. It took the whole wall. I looked it up and it's 3.49 meters long and 7.77 meters wide. I cannot show it to you in the museum because, well, photos are not allowed in that part. There's free access on Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. and on Sundays from 12:30 to 2:30 p.m. There are actually 2 extensions of the museum inside El Retiro Park, Palacio de Cristal and Palacio de Velázquez, both with free entrance, the way I like it. Unfortunately, I couldn't visit Palacio de Cristal because it was in reparations at the moment. But I could go to Palacio de Velázquez. This was the exhibit at the moment. I'll let you be the judge. I mean, I don't get it, but to each their own. Oh, by the way, El Retiro Park. Absolutely incredible. With its 125 hectares and over 15,000 trees, it's a great place to unwind your mind. It has been recently declared in 2021 as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has a lovely lake, a lot of room for people to practice running or skating, and many places to sit down and contemplate nature as you have an existential crisis. What? Is that just me? There are also several places to have a quick lunch or an afternoon snack. And it's free entrance. You might start to recognize a pattern here. As in, is this a travel guide for cheapos or something? And well, yes. I weirdly take pride into knowing and divulging all 3 hours of touristic attractions. If you're looking for a nice view of Madrid, you can go to El Corte Inglés, located in Callao. You guessed it correctly, it is free. It's located on the 6th floor and it's a food court from the shopping mall. So if it's nice enough to sit outside, you can have lunch there and enjoy the view. Otaku tip time. There is a cool store with a great selection of manga and figurines called Otaku Center, located close to La Gran Vía and relatively close to Plaza de España. The first time I visited, there was even a line of people waiting outside the store for it to open, so I guess it's a pretty popular place. I bought some manga and took a spin on a Jujutsu Kaisen gacha. That got me Yuta. This was before I watched the movie, so I could fully appreciate my luck afterwards. Since we're on topic, another great place for geeks to visit is the FNAC located in Callao, which is near the Corte Inglés I mentioned before for the view. It has many floors with books, manga, comics, figurines, you name it. Another great place to visit is the Temple of Devil. You can get to Plaza de España, look at Quixote's statue and sit down for a while before walking towards the temple. The Temple of Devot is an Egyptian temple constructed on the 2nd century BC and has a chapel dedicated to the gods Amon and Isis. On the 6th century, after Nubia's conversion to Christianity, it was closed and abandoned. On the 20th century, after the building of the Great Dam of Aswan, the Egyptian government gifted the temple to the city of Madrid, and it was transported and rebuilt stone by stone and opened to the public in its current location in 1972. It even maintains its original orientation from east to west. The entrance is free, but there's always a long line. If you would like not to wait that long, I would recommend you go there a bit before 10 AM when it opens. You will still have to wait though, because the capacity is about 10 people, so be prepared for that. So those are my recommendations for a trip to Madrid. While we were there, we started our journey to immigration once more. We started doing some paperwork, things like opening a bank account, getting a cell phone, you know, all the basics for when you are settling down in a new place. During my time in Madrid, everything felt wondrous and new. I had the first encounters with a new culture, had fun visiting some friends, and although I'm always a bundle of nerves and anxiety, I had a pretty wonderful time. So I really hope you enjoyed this guide. If you did, please hit the like button to let me know. And please tell me about you in the comments. Have you had any major life changes recently? Are you perhaps experiencing a new beginning of some sort? Perhaps are you moving, or did you move to a new country recently as well? Do you think all borders should be eradicated and we should all be citizens of the world? And on a lighter note, what do you think about the places I showed you? Have you visited Madrid before? Did you go to any of those places? Which one is your favorite? Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you enjoyed the video, then please give it a like, I would really appreciate it, and it helps with the algorithm. Hopefully I will see you in the next video. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, until next time!